All right, it is Friday, which is really exciting. That means we made it through another week of online learning. High five it. All right, so take a look at our three-dimensional shapes. By now, you should know the names of all of these. All right, and we're going to go ahead and look at our calendar here. So we are on Friday as our day of the week. December is our month, and we are on the 11th right now. So we're looking at Friday, December 11th. Right here, and I see a package, and you might have lots of packages being delivered right now during this holiday season. And I'm looking at this package, and I'm noticing that there are edges and corners, and there's some flat surfaces. So I know right away that this is not a sphere, and this is not a cylinder, because the sphere and the cylinder do not have any edges or corners on them, and this object does. So that leaves me with two shapes. It could either be a cube or a rectangular prism. How many of you think that that is a cube? Okay, a lot of you think that. How many of you think it's a rectangular prism? Oh, not as many. Well, one of the big differences between the two is that we know a cube has some flat surfaces and they're in the shape of a square. And a rectangular prism has its flat surfaces in the shape of a rectangle, right? That's why it's called a rectangular prism. So if I'm looking really closely at this box, do these flat surfaces look like a square or a rectangle? They look like a square. So that means that they are making up the shape of a cube. So today our shape is a cube right here. All right, let's take a look at how many days we have been in school. All right, so if we count by tens, we have 10. Count with me: 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 72, 73. So today's going to be, you got it, 74. So we are at 74 days today. And when we're writing the number 74, we know that it's made up of 7 groups of 10 and 4 ones. And you had to use that skill yesterday when you turned in your Google Slides, because you had to look at how many jumps of 10 are you going to take, and then how many jumps with just 1 are you going to take. And so we had some of those numbers like 22 or 31 that gave us some clues, because we knew which number showed us the groups of 10 and which number showed us the ones left over. So let's get back to our lesson for today. Today we're going to be really focusing on counting forward and backward by tens. And you're also going to be able to solve some addition and subtraction problems using a number line or even your 120 chart. You'll know you're successful when you can answer the questions on the quiz correctly. So last week, you took a math quiz, and it kind of showed you if you got them right or wrong pretty quickly after taking it. And you were able to use those number lines to help you with some of your answers. And today we're going to do a little bit more of that, and you'll have a quiz after we're done, and you should be able to show me if you were able to count forward and backward by 10, and if you can solve some basic addition and subtraction problems. So let's just look at a couple practice ones before we get into kind of what we'll do at small group. Here we have a number line, and we can see it goes 0, 10, blank, 30, blank. It looks like it's counting by tens. So if I was looking here and figuring out what the missing numbers were, I'd say I've got 0, 10, what would come next? 20, 30, 40. Right. So we're just counting by tens moving forward. That's something that we've been practicing for a couple weeks now, so you should be able to do that pretty quickly. Let's take a look at something else that you might see on your quiz today. You might see a whole line of numbers that are separated by their commas here and have to fill in the blanks. So if I'm looking at this, this is very similar to what we just did. Help me count. We have 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. But I said at the beginning that we don't only have to count forward, we have to be able to count backward, take away groups of 10. So now we're at 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 0. And we've talked a lot about patterns, how we have one group of 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 groups of 10. So that's the pattern we're following. And when we go backwards, it's the same thing, just backwards, counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if you can count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you should be able to count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100. Say, oh my goodness, 80, 90, 100. Whew, my mouth was moving too fast for my brain, I think. We can do that same thing counting backwards then, by looking at those groups of 10, and if we can count backwards, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we should be able to do that with our groups of 10. So today when you are looking at your quiz, pay attention to those groups of 10 and see what number is changing so that you can get the correct answer. So like I said, it's going to be time to show what you know. You will go on to that quiz, just like you did last week, and you're going to answer the questions the best that you can. You can use your 120 chart that we've been practicing with. You can use your number line, and you can have a grown-up to help read the questions. I want you, though, to try to get the answer with your brain, though. Don't forget to hit submit when you are finished. So you will take that quiz once you're done with this video. For those of you who get finished early, you might enjoy this game. So I did put this game on our Google Classroom for you to play. It is very similar to the one that we worked on during small group. And so let me go ahead and show you what this game looks like. And if you want to play it, that would be great. So here, you're going to play with a grown-up or someone else in your household. One of you will be Tad, and one of you will be Polly. And we're going to try to get to our magic lily pad. Now, before, we were able to get to our magic lily pad by adding tens, fives, and ones the way we wanted to. So we could say, oh, it's 22. So I'm going to go 10, 20, 21, 22. But here it's a little bit trickier because you're going to have to spin to see where you're going to land. So even though you might go, oh, I know exactly how to get there, you have to spin the number and see where you land. And this is where subtracting is going to come into place. So you might spin and go too far. And so then the next spin, you're going to have to come back. But you can also spin and say, nope, I'm going to skip this turn and not use it. So if you think your spin's going to take you way past your magic lily pad, You can say, nope, I'll lose a turn. I'm not going to use that this time. So let me show you a little bit more of how you can do it so you can teach your grown-up when it's time. To figure out what your magic lily pad number is, you're going to spin the ones with 10, 20, 30 on it. I got 10. You're going to toss the number here. I got 1. So what's 10 and 1 more? 11. 10 and 1 more is 11. So that's my magic lily pad number. I'm going to try to get Tad to 11. Now let's see, we're going to spin the 10, 20, 30 one. 30, I'm going to toss the dice, or the die. 3, 33. So Polly has to get all the way to 33. 33. Now, before we could say, all right, Tad has to get to 11, so that's one group of 10 and one more. And Polly has to get to 33, so that's 3 groups of 10 and 3 more. But the game is to see who can get there exactly on their magic lily pad using our spinner. So we're going to use this hop spinner to show us what our hops are going to be. So this is for Tad. Tad gets to hop 1. Boop. So not a ton, but that's okay. All right, now let's see Polly. Polly gets to hop 10. All right, so Tad's at the 1 and Polly's at the 10. So now it's Tad's turn. 1 more. Is he at 11 yet? No, not yet. Polly gets 1. Is Polly at the 33 yet? No. And you're going to keep playing until you get exactly on your magic lily pad. So for example, if I spin and get a 10, and that would take me all the way to 12, like this, past my magic lily pad, I can take that, and then the next time I could just jump backwards 1. But if I think, no, I just want to keep moving forward, I can just skip my turn with that 10, and it would be Polly's turn. So if you choose to play this with a grown-up, remember that you have to spin to figure out your hops this time. And when you go past it, then you'll have to hop backwards until you land exactly on your magic lily pad. We want you to be exactly on your magic lily pad. All of the directions are also there for you in this game, just in case you can't remember everything when you start to play with your grown-up. All right, so when I see you in small group, you should have already taken your quiz. Some of you might have played the game. You might not have, but you will want to bring your board marker eraser and your 120 chart to a small group, because we're going to do a little bit of practice, kind of counting forward and going backward, and we want to make sure that you have this resource to help you with it. So I will see you in small group. Be sure to take your quiz right after this video is finished, and when you have time, try the game out with your grown-up. You might like it. Bye-bye.